Good morning and welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I'm Razzle11 and you can find me on X at Razzle11Grinds. We're here to take a look at the pitching for today, Wednesday, the 22nd of July. We have an 8-game day slate and a 9-game main slate, 17 games, 2 doubleheaders. Fun stuff for projections and optimizers to dig through. Always sucks for the doubleheader part for that reason, but it's 2 very interesting games, or I guess it's 4 games, but 2 interesting spots. So I'm kind of glad that both games are on solid slates for us to look at. Some offense should happen in those ballparks, but also there's a couple pitching spots that I think are very interesting. Mainly Boston in both games, and then maybe a little bit on the Yankees side as well, with Max Fried coming back and Garrett Cole going, etc. A reminder, this is a first look at the pitching options on the slates, and I am looking at DraftKings as that is where a majority of my action is. If you play in FanDuel, cut my pool in half or so. Pricing isn't quite as tight. You don't have to be as creative. It allows you to get stacks you want with an upper tier-ish pitcher. All right, let's jump right in and take a look at what we got to work with today. As you can see, no pitcher priced above a 99K. Nobody 9,100 or more. It's a really questionable early slate from a pitching standpoint. I'm finding myself looking to be kind of spread out amongst 5 or 6 guys, very similar percentages across those 5 or 6, with a few other guys sprinkled in just in case. Game 1, Garrett Cole, Mitch Keller. I'm not using Mitch Keller in this ballpark. Only 13 home runs allowed, which isn't terrible. He has been better on the road, but still not a big K guy. Even though there is a K boost in this matchup, I'm still sticking to the Yankees. Garrett Cole on the other side, taking on his former squad. I'd say former squad. It's been a long time since he pitched for Pittsburgh, but strikeouts have gone up each, in the last 3 starts, 22 plus fantasy points in 2 out of his last 3. One of those was against the Dodgers, so I think he's trending in the right direction coming in here. There's plenty of K upside in the matchup. It's a volatile matchup. There's power, obviously. His whole numbers are phenomenal, which is kind of tough because there's more home runs. He does give up some home runs at home. I don't know what that is. Nearly 2 home runs per 9, a little less, maybe 1.8, 1.9, roughly. I still want to sprinkle in some Garrett Cole, even in that ballpark. Baltimore, Boston, great hitting weather from my understanding, at least from a win standpoint. But I am very interested in Jake Bennett. I like picking on Baltimore left-handed pitching. Jake Bennett's looked really good, especially over his last 3 starts. Really, it's his last 5. Strikeouts have kind of come down a little bit since that start 5 starts ago, roughly a month. But that was in Coors, and he still dominated. So I'm very interested in him. I realize there are a couple Baltimore bats that I do like a little bit, and his home numbers aren't as strong from a fantasy point perspective, but his hits allowed plummets when he's at home. Hasn't had a home run issue yet. Obviously, that could be a thing today based on the weather. Dean Kramer, somebody that I always seem to want to play, but I'm not playing today. Some Boston bats have hit him pretty well. Some of the other guys are swinging it very well coming in. He has struggled mightily with left-handed bats, so I'm going to pass on Dean Kramer. San Francisco, Kansas City. Now, this is a game I don't know what to do with pitching. I don't love either pitcher at all. Kansas City's lineup is pretty weak without Caglione, and then Bobby Witt just went on the IL. So maybe Landon Rupp is a guy you want to mix in. He's looked pretty good the last 2. It's just not a big K guy. Stronger on balls, but not much in the way of strikeouts. But again, just 1 earned run allowed over his last 15 innings. So if you wanted to go with Rupp, I would not blame you. I just don't think I'm getting there. I'm still finalizing what I want to do with my pitcher pool for this early slate. Lugo on the other side, I just don't think there's enough upside. I feel all right passing on Seth Lugo at this point. Mets Milwaukee, great under the radar pitching matchup. The Mets lineup just dropped as I was going to start recording. There is no Juan Soto. The last couple starts for Henderson haven't been all that great. Those are his first 2 back in the majors after some lengthy IL stays, but before going on the IL was pretty strong. 23 plus fantasy points in 3 of 4 going into the IL. The last one being against the Dodgers, which was his best start of the season. I think it's a pretty solid spot for Logan Henderson. Christian Scott on the other side, been really good. 12 strikeouts over the last 10 innings, just 6 hits allowed. Can have a home run issue at times, but also can be pretty dominant. I think I'm going to play him on this slate and probably play, 25% of them. I'm just kind of gambling with that upside. Coors game, Washington, Colorado. I am sprinkling in Cade Cavalli. I've learned my lesson to just not pass on Cade. I don't expect a whole lot out of him, and it is dangerous, but there is strikeouts upside in this matchup, so I don't have a problem just getting some exposure. But I will be stacking Colorado as well. A's, Arizona, no thank you on either pitcher. Now, I've played Gage Jump quite a bit. 15 strikeouts over his last 9 1/3. The strikeout numbers can be real. Problem is Arizona strikes out 17.1% of the time against left-handed pitching. Not the best matchup for him for upside, so I am going to pass on Gage Jump. Cincy and Seattle, I'm going to play both pitchers. Hancock, 2 starts ago, was pretty strong. There's K upside in this matchup. It is volatile. Cincy certainly can explode with some home runs, but I think there's also a ton of upside for him. Averaging over 20 DK points per game when pitching at home. He's just been excellent at home, so we're going to ride that. Brady Singer, not somebody I play very often. 20 plus fantasy points in 3 out of his last 5 starts. 25 plus in 2 out of those 5. So I'm interested. 2 earned runs or fewer in 7 of his last 8. Probably a decent time to pick on Seattle. So I don't mind it. It does scare me that I'm going to be too heavily invested in somebody like Brady Singer, but decisions had to be made, and I think we're just going to take a shot with the way that he's throwing the baseball. Last game on the slate, Angels and St. Louis. Reed Detmer's somebody I'm always playing. Always has a ton of upside. There's volatility, walks and random home runs, etc. But then we see what kind of upside. And I've said it for a while. I like left-handed pitching in St. Louis. They're starting to come back down to earth overall from an offensive standpoint. So I think Reed Detmers is certainly super interesting on the slate. On the other side, Hunter Dobbins. I'm afraid, but I am going to sprinkle in some Hunter Dobbins. It's just strictly picking on the Angels. K upside matchup. He put up nearly 24 against Seattle, or against Cincinnati, not Seattle, a month and a half ago. Kind of shows us what he's capable of. So if he matched that, I think that would be a massive W for us on this slate. Switching over to the main slate, this is legitimately my first look at the pitching options on the slate. So, Minnesota, Cleveland, no real interest in either guy. Bailey Ober might be fine, and I have to dig in a little bit more. So he's somebody I'm going to consider. He was decent 2 starts ago against Cleveland. His road numbers have been atrocious, though. So, I don't know. It's a lot to take in for him. Slade Stoney, probably not getting there, even though he's better when at home. I kind of want to dig into his numbers more, but I just don't think I'm getting to Slade on this particular slate. Dodgers, Phillies. I am going to debate Eric Lauer. Probably not going to get there. Strikeouts aren't there. Walks are up. Gives up home runs. Probably not a good combination against Philly, even though they've kind of struggled somewhat offensively outside of Trey Turner. Aaron Nola, I'm not going to get there either. Multiple home runs allowed in 5 out of his last 7 starts. Not great trends for facing a Dodgers squad with all that power. Pitt and the Yankees. Bubba Chandler. I want to say he has upside, but I just haven't seen it, so I'm going to pass on Bubba. At some point, things are going to click, and he's going to do this again, like he did against Toronto with 11 strikeouts. I just don't believe it's today. Max Fried coming off the IL. I'm not sure what there is going to be in terms of pitch count. It looks like 60. If it is truly 60, I don't think we can play him. We're going to want to see some news as the day progresses, but it's at least somebody I want to consider because Pitt can strike out plenty. Tampa Bay, Toronto. Toronto's going with opener, long reliever, etc. Griffin Jack's coming off of his worst start to this date. Did not pick up any strikeouts, walked too many guys in his first appearance against Toronto. I don't think I'm going to get to Griffin Jacks, but he's somebody that I might consider, along with Bailey Ober, and before I make my decision later in this afternoon. Baltimore, Boston, Kyle Bradish, certainly capable of big-time games, so I am going to sprinkle him in. Boston's been rolling, obviously, 14 wins in a row coming into today's doubleheader. He is weaker on the road. That does worry me. Walks. Just a lot more base runners on the road, so it's tougher, but he does have so much upside that I do want to get exposure. Rangers Suarez returning from the IL. He's had some rougher starts at home, but not terrible. I think it's a pretty good spot. I like left-handed pitching against Baltimore, as I mentioned, with Jake Bennett in Game 1. San Diego and Atlanta. Martin Perez coming off the IL. No rehab assignment. Minimum-ish stay on the IL. I think he's probably fine. I might not get there. San Diego has awoken a little bit, so I'm probably going to pass, but I'm also considering playing Michael King against Atlanta, who's been a little bit hotter, even though they were shut down by Walker Buehler and company last night. I say the same thing about Michael King all the time. Where have the strikeouts gone? But the last time he faced Atlanta, which is exactly a month ago, absolutely dominated them for 26 fantasy points. I would gladly take that again. If you told me he was going to get 26 fantasy points in this start, I would probably play him in 75 to 80% of my lineups. White Sox, Texas, probably not getting to either team. I'm just done picking on Texas right now. Anthony Kay is nothing special, especially because he's pitching on the road where he's been pretty bad overall. Cal Quantrill can show some decent things, but he's not a big K guy. It's just not worth it for me to mix into that game. Miami and Houston, Peter Lambert, pretty extreme reverse splits. I think they play pretty well in this matchup. 23 strikeouts over his last 17 and 2/3 innings. Just 2 earned runs allowed. Throwing the ball ridiculously well. Something that I never thought I would say about Peter Lambert. Average against him at home, just 194. Pretty solid. So we are going to play some Lambert. Alcantara on the other side, going to play some Alcantara. 20-plus fantasy points in, 7 of 8 starts. Almost 8 of 9, basically. Pretty solid. He's better at home, so that's kind of an issue. I won't go too super heavy, but I do want to play him in this one. And last game on the slate, Wrigley Field, wind blowing in. I'm going to play both pitchers. Framber Valdez blew up yesterday, and that's gross. Montero, not super stretched out any longer. It's been almost a month since the normal start. So I have to dig in and see more what they're going to plan to do with him, but I'm at least interested. Colin Ray, not somebody I play very often, but based on the weather and everything, I am going to sprinkle in some Colin Ray. He does not offer a whole lot of upside, but his numbers at home have been phenomenal. Maybe he's gotten to pitch, luckily with the wind blowing in far more at home, so something to pay attention to, but Colin Ray is somebody that I am going to cry and use on this slate. But there we have it. There's our first look at all the pitching today. If you enjoyed what I bring to you, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and get the alert anytime we drop videos here at DFS Army. If you want to join us, get access to our coaches, tools, sheets, Discord, etc., there will be links in the description below. You can use promo code RAZ, that's R-A-Z, for 10% off any MLB package. Or Best Ball 2026 gets you 20% off any NFL or VIP Core 4 membership. The Core 4 membership does include baseball. As always, best of luck, everybody.